Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality gaze. Let's love. Y'all, it is thundering and lightning in Houston.
Lightning.
It's like thunder. Lightning.
The way you love me is frightening. I said to knock me up. I said to knock me up.
Yep. Which is what Poodle's going to say in 6 days.
That was almost our theme song for Labor of Love.
It was,
Knock Me
actually.
Up. And then I decided it had to be Power of Love.
Power of Love.
Or Labor of Love, yeah.
Labor of Love. And
that show's not back, y'all.
It's not back. It's not coming back. Yeah, it's pouring here. But it just lightning and thunder. And I told Poodle, what if the lightning struck the house and then it went up the microphone cord and I shocked myself and died doing a podcast, and that would be sad.
And I went, sure.
He would carry on.
Also, why don't we stay in the moment and try to be less dramatic? When I talk about terrible ways to die, those are not great ways. I'm still thinking about dying on a bridge or a plane, and just like or an air balloon, hot air balloon, when you just plummet in a big molten fireball.
You should think of something like different.
No, those are interesting ways to die. Being shocked by lightning doing a podcast is shitty.
Especially this one. If it was like a good show, like Armchair Expert or
I know
My Favorite Murder.
That might be a good way to die, but not this one.
Or Asian, not Asian. But this
not
show.
This one. No, or Add to Cart. That'd be an honor to get struck by lightning and killed to that show.
Steam Room Stories. At least that's sexual about gay men having sex.
Is it called Steam Room Stories?
I think so. It's my friend Ben's show.
I think you're wrong. That was a TV web series called Steam Room Stories.
It's Steamy Stories.
Yeah,
podcast.
I thought so.
Steamy. It's Steamy. His body's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm sure it doesn't really help sell the podcast that his body is on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if Poodle had abs, y'all would be like, why do they talk about 90 Day Fiancé and that little twink is naked all the time? Whatever,
you never wear
do.
a shirt.
There would be a butt plug with the number 90 on it. So it would be a picture of your ass that just said 90 in the middle. And then I'd write fiancé on your cheek. I would sell you to the highest bidder to make money.
I don't think I'd be the person I am today if I had abs. I just wouldn't have to work as hard to do anything.
Dead. You'd be dead.
Probably.
You would have done drugs and be dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
They would have lost your body. It was fucked away somewhere off the coast of Stegis by a bunch of Spaniards.
How did you say Stegis?
Stegis, isn't that how you say that island?
No, it's Stegis, or it's SIG, I believe. Here, now I have to look it up. I've never been.
Here. I'm going to get a different beer.
See how it's pronounced. I guess we're drinking. How do you pronounce it? Oh, Stegis. Yeah. Stegis. The town, Barcelona. It's very, very gay. That's what you always see. Anyway.
What's it called?
Stegis.
That's what I said. Stegis.
No, you said Stegis. No, you're incorrect. Let's go to the tape, Gary.
Go to the tape, Gary. I said Stegis.
No, you said Stegis.
Maybe.
Anyway, Where were we? I don't even know what we were doing.
Oh, this spirit's
Yo,
much
this
better.
is Single Life. This is Reality
Single
Gaze
Life.
presents The Single Life.
Living out there in the single life.
Are you making up a blues song?
I'm going to talk to my daddy, don't know his name. Gonna see my ex-girlfriend, she gonna take a claim on my balls.
What?
It's a single life.
See my daddy? I don't. Oh, that's Fernanda.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I went and transferred into Colt.
Ugh, this episode sucked.
It wasn't. It was, you didn't like it because I've kind of turned off things with Big Ed. Let's talk about you didn't like it because there's a lot of Big Ed. He still grosses me out, but I kind of look at him more like an anthropologist now, like he's just some type of like weird.
I understand what you're saying.
Weird armadillo in the wild that I'm watching their habits,
his mating habits. No,
and
I get you.
I think about that. It's easier for me to watch it, although it makes it hard when, again, he tries to push himself onto a woman who's given him clear boundaries.
Exactly, and I need to say that the show is trying to make us like, or at least root for this character. And root for this person, and that's what I'm feeling. It offends me.
It is.
So I have a hard time dealing with a lot of Big Ed episodes.
I mean, it's better for Big Ed to date somebody from this country because he just doesn't get societal and cultural things at all. I think that just makes him even worse. But yeah, it's not.
You know what the worst part of it is? That he doesn't really have a firm grasp on reality, and there's also a lot of strange,
not even a little.
Yeah, there's also a strange bit of arrogance that grosses me out about him too. And I know he has such a weird conception of himself, but that goes hand in hand.
A tattoo of his cartoon caricature on his
that
leg.
says it all. What I think. We're going to definitely talk about the pull-in kiss where he went.
I screamed again. I saw it in the trailer last week.
It looked like Attack of the Mole People. She was just
again,
like pulling her
like
clothes.
A turtle trying to buy a piece of lettuce at the Cincinnati Zoo and just about to take your hand off. It's a shame we're not videoing this. Y'all want to listen to. By the way, if you want a video podcast of us, you can tune in at the $15 level on Patreon. You can't do it on Supercast.
Intimate portrait.
Where we watch the regular 90-day. You get both parts, part 1 and 2 of 90 Day Fiancé in the video. I will say,
you get intimate with my creamy shoulders. Sometimes
this week I fucked up and I gave it to people on the $8 tier as well. And I'm not going to take it back. I really didn't mean to do it. The podcast is on the $8 tier and I did it the same. So we need
to replace you. You're always, if this was a real job, you would have been fired by now.
I was tired last night.
Cancer on the brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
From being in this empty house without my father.
Being in the hotel
No, he's
pool.
not dead. He's in the hospital. He's not dead. Although there was another river of shit story today in the hospital.
No. No more caretaker minutes. No.
Caretaker corner with Maddie?
No, it's going to be a whole different podcast because I'm not participating.
But anyway, if you're on the $8 tier for Patreon, you can't get it if you're on Supercast. Sorry, it was I'm going to
have to go on there and delete it.
I'm not, because I don't want to tease people. That's so mean to like give them. Hey, here you go. Just kidding.
Fine,
but you're not going to get it next week.
Fine.
Don't look for favors from me.
I'll suck your dick if you're hot. Anyway, even if you're not hot.
Thank you. I was in mid-drink, or I would have said something.
So let's go ahead. This episode's called Down and Dirty. Took a down and dirty.
Take me down.
I believe in a reference to
Yeah.
Brittany going ATV riding because she wants to see if Justin's a man because men get in the dirt.
He is. He is. He's a man.
He feels pretty citified to me.
But remember last week when he said, "Come here," and he just kissed her and touched her face?
No, but
you went spoochy.
I'm saying her version of men have to be, quote, men, or they do outside competitive things.
What's your version of a man, Poodle? Even though I don't like you, that word, this verbiage is problematic for us.
No, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. That's.
Let's just pretend. Let's pretend it's not.
What's my version of a man?
But what's your version of a man?
What does that mean? Like, what do I?
What I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Like, what do I think a man is?
Yeah, what do you think a man is?
We're disasters. We're helpless children that are barely playing checkers.
But then that's a boy. So if you want a man, like, what does a man?
What does a man
do?
No, I believe that most men are boys.
I think so.
Yeah. A man, what I think a man does is
trust fund.
Oh, definitely. No, a man has his shit together. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's to me.
You talk about like a partner or sexually or this question is so vague.
I know. But that's what Brittany talks about, like a man, like a rough and dirty man.
Her idea of a man is like Grizzly Adams. It just shows how inexperienced she is.
Yes.
And how Brittany, it's really interesting.
I asked you the question to show the ridiculousness of it because it's how do you? That's the whole point. How do you answer that?
But we're still talking about Ed, right? What? Okay, fine. We're just going to talk about Brittany because we already. Sorry, you.
I didn't do. You brought up Brittany.
Did I? Oh, you know why? Because I was talking about the title.
Yeah, but we could talk about Brittany.
Let's just talk about her because I'd rather.
By the way, y'all,
I'd rather talk about her instead of Ed.
We guested on the podcast called "We Need to Talk About Brittany," so be on the lookout for that because that episode's going to be dropping where we talked about Britney Spears' crazy video and toxic video,
and we got emotional. Both of us did.
We did. We need to ask them when that's going to drop. We don't know.
I don't know. So
let's talk about Brittany.
So Brittany, she slept with Justin in the bed last night. Justin's hot, y'all.
But they didn't fuck.
And they're like, did they bang? No, they did not funk.
They did not funk.
They slept arm's length from one another. I assume there was some heavy petting going on.
Heavy petting, as Mama Mar would say.
They are going ATVing today. And she's like, I need to see he's a man.
And a dozen bruises.
That's pretty close, though.
It does sound the same.
So she's like, I'm going to see if he's a man. I want to see if he can like get dirty. I want to see if he can like get in the dirt and like kill an animal with his hands and cook it for me for dinner.
See, that's what I think is odd. Like, because to me, a man is like vulnerable.
Well, it's an emotional thing.
Like,
no, I'm saying the idea of what she thinks and her ideas of what men and women do, even though
it really is like wanting him to protect her.
Right.
But
even though she seems super, her Instagram image is super empowered, super body conscious, but then she's not that.
But we're not women. I keep telling you, you're not, even though you don't believe me. But maybe. I don't know, sissies, come at us. Like, is that something do you want? Like, I feel like it seems archaic to want to be protected and all that, but maybe that's what women want. I don't know.
I think you're going one step past what she's actually looking for. I think she wants a guy who like get in the dirt and can like fix a car. It's like she's wanting some kind of version of the Fonz.
Well, I guess I'm taking it a little bit what happens later on when she's like, someone supportive and takes care of her.
Oh, I think that's a whole different side that she's looking for. I don't think that is the man side.
That's probably, I think,
that she's looking for. I really think she wanted him to like smear dirt all over his face and like spear hunt a hog and then lay on top of it and have sex with it. That's Lord of the Flies, by the way.
I'm sorry. Were you talking? Just imagine Justin in his arms while he licked his lips with a spear. And when I say spear, I mean his penis.
His penis, which is nice.
Which is nice.
So
I bet it tastes like vanilla bean.
I don't want a penis that tastes like vanilla bean. A penis should not be dessert. Like? It is the main course.
So what should it taste like? Meatloaf?
It shouldn't taste like anything. It should taste like
would
penis.
Suck any dick at all, and I will suck that.
A penis should taste like penis. It should taste like someone's skin. It should not taste like fruit. It should not taste like anything.
You should make your own candle collection, and then you can make penis.
It would just be ball sweat.
Balls.
Now, ball sweat is a smell and is a taste.
Pubes.
So
we need to move on.
You don't get to move on when you ask me the questions.
Poodle has taken me off the rails.
Yeah, it's my fault. So they ask her, have you gone home with someone on the first date? And she's like, I did. And I married him. And that just tells you she's so provincial. She's trying to act like she's this wild child, and she's not. I don't think she is. It's such an interesting jumble of images for her. She can never back it up. Sorry.
She says later, uses the term badass bitch. Or strong badass bitch, but
I think it's what she wants to do, but she just can't.
Well, no. I think some people, they almost equivocate like being strong also means you're the rebel and the rule breaker and like a little bit bad.
Yeah.
Whereas like being good is weak.
I think, all of these things.
She's this weird binary that doesn't really exist in life.
She's queen of binaries. Except for when she's married. She forgets about that.
Y'all, don't forget, Brittany was married.
She wouldn't even forget it, she said. I just think she has very, very carefully separated her real self. She has divorced her real self from both the image, there's a couple of selves, the image, who she is on Instagram, and who she is in persona, like Brittany without the eyelashes, Brittany without the makeup.
She is splitting.
Is an introvert, probably.
I know I'm all about eyelashes, but really, these eyelashes are too long.
Especially if you're going ATVing, you're just going to get dirt in them.
I'm all about put on your eyelashes, but this is like what I put on Poodle when we do a theater show.
Is there a training wheels for eyelashes that you could wear just like regular?
I mean, maybe get yourself a little pair of Wet n Wilds.
Maybe. All I thought was thinking when they were going ATVing, I'm like, girl, hopefully you powder that, because sometimes your foundation gets really moist and you're gonna have a face full of dirt at the end of that.
It's true. I want to try magnetic eyelashes. I've heard those are fantastic.
Like Aunt Peggy's lip.
Yeah, basically you put on an eyeliner and the eyeliner has like magnetism in it, and you put on your eye and then the eyelashes just pop on your eye.
I would totally do that. Are they expensive?
No.
Why don't we do that instead of you gluing it to my eyes?
I don't know.
That's what we're doing next time.
Okay.
So she's I love it when she's talking about
it's going to be a long show.
Why?
Cuz we keep talking.
I
like it though. I'm having a good time.
I like it that you can both participate and judge at the same time.
Have you met you?
That's fair. That's fair. That's Reed, and it's fair. So she's ironing her pockets, but the pants are on her. So she's ironing her ass.
I've done this and I can't judge her. Back when I used to wear cargo pants, I would try to iron my legs.
You can't. I'll be honest. The shorts she's wearing and with her butt, the pants aren't going to go down unless she puts sizing on them. You take off the shorts, you put some laundry sizing, magic sizing on it, and then they will lay down.
Well, yeah, and it's got to have a flat surface.
Yeah, but you can't iron your ass. It's not going to help.
Yeah, I mean,
but she even mentions, she's like, people see how I dress, but I'm adventurous. I want to go to the gun range. I want to go, like shooting up like natural born killers. I want to go like fight someone with my bare hands. I just, this is such a weird personality quirk that she has, that she's always trying to be something. And I would love to know who the real Britney is.
Like, I would be way more impressed. Like, do you have an investment at Fidelity Funds? Like, again, it's just.
But I'm saying, wouldn't you like to know? I think the real Britney, who she shows maybe her family and her closest friends, is very shy. I think she's very protected.
I think I'm going to be bored by the real Britney.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Sorry.
And I
don't want to know.
The thirst is so strong in her to be, so she's trying out all these personalities in a way. She's actually, now that we see her on this show, she's actually very interesting. She's less annoying than she was on the other way to me, but I find her now just interesting as someone to observe.
You know what I think about her? Maybe a lot of people aren't going to agree with this. I think she's smarter than I think she's a woman who like dumbs herself down a little bit.
Totally agree.
And we didn't get that in the first season. Like, she seemed just dumb. And now that I'm seeing her, I'm like, you're actually not an idiot. I think you're pretty smart, but you're not confident enough to claim that either.
And you're acting away because you think that people will like you more if you don't come off smart.
Like, you need to take a picture of you on ATV shaking your ass for your Instagram.
And I was like, Justin, you already said, oh, I'll hold it and take your selfie. You're already way up there, because you're going to become selfie boy real quick.
I mean, I have gone to take a picture of you and you turned around and shook your ass at me.
Yeah, I've done it. And she's like, I want to see that alpha male come out. I want to see him like try to beat me and then like smack me around at the end of the night.
Okay, that wasn't in the show. Don't remember that.
But I'm taking it farther because that's what it starts to feel like.
That is what it feels like. It is what it feels like.
And then we'll end up in the emergency room and he'll apologize and say, never do it again. And then I'll live in fear of him.
We need to move on.
I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying that's the trope she's referencing.
It is
weird.
It is.
So she's on there and she's like, oh, my boobs. Now, her boobies are bouncing around. They are doing an elaborate dance on this ride.
She needs to wear a sports bra. This is not a music video. They also both need to be wearing helmets.
I agree. I might have noted that too.
I mean, because I know I grew up riding 3-wheelers and 4-wheelers where I was from. Do they even make 3-wheelers now?
I think they're very dangerous. A kid died on a 3-wheeler and Mother Poodle says, see, that's why I won't let you get one. I care about my kids too much. God.
Well, we got one. It was like a little Honda 70, and it flipped. Mm-hmm. But I used to ride around. I don't know why. When I would ride around the 3-wheeler, that's when I would sing Tina Turner because that was really big.
Like other boys who rode them.
So my brother, literally, he hated it because he had to drive me. So he would drive in front, and I would hold on to him and just going. But behind his ear, he would hear me singing. Got to do with it. What you love, what a shocking
Did you do it to annoy him, or did you do it because it made you happy?
It made me happy.
And you had no idea that boys should not be singing. Did you have an inkling?
I didn't care.
Okay, you just didn't care. Okay, got it.
I went through a not caring most of my life. Middle school, it was harder for me.
Yeah, that's when it happens with most kids. Yep.
But then by the time I got to my like junior year of high school, I kind of came back around to not caring anymore.
Yeah.
But what else is a Tina? There was another Tina Turner song. I sang "What's Love Got to Do with It?"
Simply the Best. There's Private Dancer, Thunderdome. What's the song? We Don't Need Another Hero. There's so many.
What's Private Dancer?
I can be your private dancer.
Oh.
Don't even try to act like you're a Tina Turner fan if you don't know that song.
I don't know that song.
Oh, it's a great song. Baby, I can be your private dancer. There's Nutbush City Limits. Oh, Nutbush City Limits. How do I know?
Wow.
Obviously, I know more Tina Turner songs than you do.
Really. So that was, but y'all, you think about it, that song was
Nutbush
popular.
City Limits is amazing.
80, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was like, I was maybe like 7 years old because that song came out in like 1987.
Great.
Wow. I was really gay.
A 7-year-old riding around on a three-wheeler and your parents weren't even supervising? That's called neglect.
Oh,
should have called them.
Another one I sang, which was why I love the Celine version, was River Deep Mountain High.
Yeah, this is going to be a long show. So don't ever say that. So they're kind of talking and she's like, I'm feeling this attraction to you today. And then she's like, even more trying to get in her head. Tell me something I should know about you. Again, terrible question.
Because she prefaced it was like, so I really had this boyfriend and I didn't trust him and he wasn't forthcoming and he lied to me. So tell me your lies. Okay.
Tell me everything you're not telling me.
I didn't do that on purpose, but the other song I sang on the three-wheeler, I Fuck You Not, was Tell Me Lies by Fleetwood Mac.
Little sweet little lies.
I loved that song. I sang that in our Dodge Caravan and on the three-wheeler.
Tell me lies, yo, you can't disguise.
I do remember my brother turning around and saying, Matt, stop singing. I'm not going to drive around with you anymore.
Your poor brother. Was that? I guess that was Fleetwood Mac. I was thinking it was Christine McVie, but I think it is Fleetwood Mac. I think that's when she was with Fleetwood. That wasn't a solo.
Did she leave them and she went back?
Mm-hmm.
Now aren't they broken up again?
Who knows? From day to day.
Who knows? Yeah, I'm sorry.
They did so many drugs, it doesn't matter.
I just want to say I went on a tangent in a story about Fleetwood Mac that would have taken us 5 minutes, and I just stopped myself.
What do you want me to do? Give you an award for not murdering someone? Or refraining? That's like saying I almost slapped you. I wish I should get some appreciation for that. Anyway, so he says you can trust me, and she's still worried about what's going to happen, and she's like, I just worry he's telling me everything I want to hear, and that's what Yazan was doing.
Because no one tells you. It's not that he's telling you everything you want to hear, but no one says, "Oh, well, since you asked, let me tell you all the lies I have."
Also,
on them,
it seemed they're quote unquote childhood friends, or they knew each other from childhood, but they barely know each other.
Oh yeah,
romantically.
Yeah.
So this like put all your cards on the table bullshit is a farce.
It's
farce. Just ridiculous.
But they're still driving around, and she says, "Wow, I'm really starting to get good at this. I might be a professional." And then she fell to the ground.
Then she flips over on a tree stump and it throws her. Now, y'all, they go to the ER. Her shoulder was dislocated, which is very painful.
Very painful.
And she broke her clavicle, which is also very painful.
Very painful.
So no wonder she was high as fuck on pain medication.
They're like wheeling her out in the wheelchair. She's like, do you want to sit in the back or the front? And she said, I'm wearing Gucci right now. And I realized
like she's out of it.
I think this is my favorite Britney.
I agree. It's much better.
She was funny. And this, y'all, this right here is why Poodle can't do things.
What do you mean?
This is why Poodle can't go bungee jumping on a date, because Poodle is the person where the bungee cord will snap weird and he'll end up.
Myself.
He won't die, but he'll just get as close as he can to it.
Yep, just for attention. No,
yeah.
I would on outdoorsy dates. I once went horseback riding on a date, and I was so what?
No, I'm just gassing because that's the worst idea for you.
I actually was fine with it. We had a really good time, but I kind of was on a horse halfway, and the horse kind of bolted, and I was like halfway riding the horse like this on the sides, like ah! I did scream like a woman for a little bit.
Was this in Griffith Park?
Yes.
Wow.
And it was fun after that. Like,
did you go on a second date?
I think we fucked that night, so no.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. I don't think the chemistry was really there. I know I said no to it, even though the date was really nice. I can't barely remember. I remember the dates. I don't remember why I didn't go out with them again. Usually,
you remember the digs.
Usually, also there
Never
was like
forget.
there. I remember if there's chemistry, and even when there's not chemistry, I'll still have sex with them. Let's just be honest. It's at the end of the night, and I've had like 2 vodka sodas, so something's gonna happen. I drove to the east side.
There you go.
Something's gonna happen. Mm-hmm.
So
I rode a horse for you, so yeah.
Yeah. And so Justin's like, today was the real. I just want to be sure she's taken care of. He's like, this really, but it brought us closer. And I thought, you're hot, but now you know down deep, y'all are not going to fuck while you're here.
No,
and you're disappointed.
I agree. It's that window has closed. Those vaginal walls just went.
And give it to Brittany. If I had just broken my shoulder and my clavicle, cameras would not be coming into my house when I went home. I'd be like, leave me alone.
No.
Instead, they come in. He starts taking care of her. He puts her in bed. And then he brings out a plate of food and feeds her.
Now, this is very different than the Chevelle feeding incident when both these people had their limbs both worked. She was so out of it. I guess he was worried about her eating. Now, and I will accept feeding another person like this. For me, I would have said, no, it's okay. I can feed myself. Because, y'all, when someone feeds you, it is never easy. And you're never going to really eat. It's just going to fall off.
It was easy when I fed you.
I don't remember it.
Oh.
Because I was out of it.
You did dribble on your chin.
Yeah, that's what you do. You make a fucking mess.
So here's my thing to you, though, Poodle. You're on a date with a guy who looks like Justin. He's staying the night at your house. You break your clavicle and dislocate your arm.
My dick still works.
Are you still going to fuck?
I'll find a way. Mm-hmm. Mama didn't raise no pussy. I find a way.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't give up.
Ladies and gentlemen and others, my podcast partner, Jake Anthony.
You know what?
Yeah.
My hips aren't broken.
Okay.
If you get in the right position, I can kind of like hold things and just kind of throw myself on top of him.
Before we get letters,
should we take a break?
Should probably take a commercial break. We'll be back. Here we are. Back to Big Ed. Poodle tried to get me to skip him, but we can't.
I want to point out something. This is Big Ed, you guys. I want to point out a big continuity issue. His chest hair's already grown back.
I noticed that too.
So this had to be like 2-3 weeks later. Or this was before.
It was kind of like continuity of like there's like sometimes things stick out like that one voiceover line that Vanessa did to Colt, which totally sounded different than anything else.
Colt, whatever.
We want to talk to Jess about
and it has a PA honky what do they call those? A walkie-talkie cut over from a grip going 51 to 58.
Yeah. It was done like over the phone or via Skype or something. They asked for it. So yeah, there are continuity issues. I will say the single life in general feels a lot less produced than at least 90 Day Fiance. I mean, so like
even though it looks a lot better.
dislike Big Ed. Most of us dislike. I thought parts of this were riveting and actually pretty interesting.
By
to
riveting, what do you mean? Cringeworthy and me wanting to claw off my eyelids or claw my eyelashes so I'll never see them again?
You can't look away.
Okay, then I would agree. I would agree.
And just again, being an anthropologist way, like anthropological sense, like just the sadness of humanity.
Great.
Hey,
no, I understand what you're saying, but it's easier for me if I can kind of find my way into them with empathy, and I have a much harder time with Big Ed, because he's brought all this on himself. And so it's harder for me. I can sit back and be super kind of divorce myself from it, but that also feels I have to actually have some kind of affection for him to like him. So that doesn't help me either. I just really dislike him.
Well, we're talking about him. And so now he always says his big thing that's kind of the narrative is he always ends up, y'all take a drink every time he says
friend zone.
So he said he was in a friendship for 13 years when he finally told her. And he said, I'm not making that mistake again. So yet, though, it's the third date, and he's inviting Liz to meet his mom, which seems really early.
It's ridiculous. And that's why this feels fudged. This is the first part of the story that felt... Now, I thought Liz is on the joke.
I don't know if it felt fudged as much as it felt like, I think...
But would Liz ever do that? I guess if she's his friend.
They've been friends, so it's not like it is not like you date somebody that you met on Tinder and you don't know them at all. Right. It's a third date. This is more of they've known each other for a while. I will say I love his mother. God, she is gorgeous. She's the cutest,
and she's very nice
woman. I love her.
I need to point out that Big Ed was in the friend zone for 13 years, and he was basically in love with this woman who he worked with. And then he told her after 13 years. And then she moved to San Francisco and got married a month later. How do you recover from that?
That to me is like...
That's world smashing.
It's like, for me, like, I don't see it this way, but like, I start to feel a bit of empathy for Ed. And then later on, he kind of, again, shows how his dysfunction...
Yeah.
It's what I've said before about Big Ed.
He created that too.
Mark, Andrew, they treat women like shit because there's something almost diabolical about them. Whereas Big Ed he is that thing of hurt people can choose to hurt people, and he is choosing to hurt, but he's so from his own pain,
right?
He can't even get out of it.
So he's inviting Liz over for dinner to meet his mom, and I wrote fuck, and he's like, I'm going to make you girls a refreshing dinner, which is already weird, and he has problems with who women are and his relationship to women.
I mean, he says girls. I actually thought this was kind of charming.
No, not for me.
She works at a restaurant. I think Ed gives first. He gives good first, like 3 or 4 dates.
To me, it felt like... Tonight, it's like Lucy and Ricky. Tonight, the guys are going to cook. Imagine that. That's what it felt like.
Maybe he meant it that way. I just took it as that she works in a restaurant and more of she is always waiting on him at that restaurant. And he's like, tonight, because she said, oh, you're waiting on me? He's like, yes, tonight I'm taking care of you. And so I actually thought it was sweet and thoughtful.
That was a little later, and I think I wrote that down, but it was like almost a magical thing. He was cooking dinner.
And so maybe he said, yes, saying the word girls is not the best thing.
He also said he's going to make Liz go one-on-one with his mother, who he's never met. So he's leaving Liz with a person with your date's mother.
And, Liz is like, she seems a little uncomfortable in there. She's kind of sitting there and they're talking. I will say his dog Teddy is the cutest fucking dog.
I agree, but there's something about that is so abject about the way he uses Teddy as a prop for other people
sure.
that I feel so gross about. He uses Teddy as a way to basically get next to women all the time.
He does. And if you had a little King Charles Spaniel named Chauncey instead of your Roomba, you would literally train that dog to go up to shirtless, to see if it saw a guy shirtless, to go up and try to sniff him and bite his sock.
Maybe, but my game is a lot better than Ed's.
Your game is a lot better, but I'm just saying you would use your dog to hit on people.
I wouldn't use it in a way, and I wouldn't say things like, oh, why does he like you so much? Guess he's like me. It's just
no, you wouldn't say
so
that. Your game
cringy.
would be a lot better. So we do find out she graduated in 1992, which Poodle, what was that like graduating what was that like graduating in the 90s?
Tell me.
I don't know. You were 93, right?
No, I graduated in 95.
Wait, 91?
5.
91. 90.
Cinco.
Okay. 90. Poodle graduated in 90, everybody.
And you graduated in 96. So congratulations.
97, actually.
Class of 96.
No, I'm 97. I swear to hand to God.
No, I think you are. But I'm young I graduated at 17. Yeah.
But yeah, 97. Just want to make sure it's that extra year.
Yeah, gotcha.
18
months. 18 months. It actually, I know it feels like more because I'm just so much more experienced in general. And he actually undercuts age. You think he's younger because of the way he acts. Not by the way he looks, I'll tell you that. We talk about they talk about his siblings. And he has 5 of them, and he left his hometown at age 18. And I wonder if I would have met that Ed, that Ed who left his hometown, what was he like?
Well, his mom said that he was confident and like that he didn't let what people said hurt him. The thing, so here's the deal with make it or fake it until you make it. It's a great skill, and it's often something I've done in my life. I recommended it to clients. It can be a very helpful thing because often when you have a time frame of doing a unhelpful behavior, it feels weird doing a helpful behavior. And I think for Ed, though, the problem is you can fake it until you make it. But if you never look at why you had to fake it and the underlying of what that, and that's where Ed, I think, where a lot of this idea of this, he has a horrible self-image of himself.
Yeah, but at the same time, like overcompensates.
It's like he can't, he's too terrified to tiptoe into those feelings, and like a lot of men, to be honest.
Yeah. To
tiptoe in those feelings because for many reasons, whether you want to talk about he's afraid he'll die from it, whatever.
Right.
And so it's but it is interesting. He was like, and so I think that kind of, it was interesting because they talk about him just barreling out of high school and kind of rushing into life. And then you have Liz saying later, Ed's definitely a rusher. He is rushing into things. She's meeting his mom. And whereas Ed, like you said, is saying, I'm getting signs that she's not into me. Yeah. Or I'm getting signs that she is into me. And we're bonding. Teddy loves her. And I'm like, Teddy's a fucking dog. Dogs love anybody who smell like bacon.
Yeah. And also,
actually, I love anyone who smells like bacon. Me too.
I love a penis if it smells like bacon.
Yeah.
I need to say though that we need to play that one game we just did a couple of minutes ago with Classless. What's on these plates?
Oh, okay.
What's on these plates? What does it look like to you? What did he make?
A salad.
It's a salad, but it's not a composed salad. He just threw a bunch of shit on a plate.
Liz even kind of shading. She's like, the beets were really good.
I love the beets. But it's like, you guys, a salad is actually one of the hardest things to do well if you're going to be serving it. It needs to be a composed salad because people are just going to pick out what they want of it. I'm sounding really fussy, but I don't care. There's like beets, avocados. There needs to be a multiplicity of things. There needs to be some goat cheese. There needs to be something to hold it together. No one needs their choice of dressing. You can't just put ranch on it or whatever you want.
Thousand Island if you're my dad.
So anyway, he's like, and I've decided I'm gonna kiss her. I'm gonna hopefully I'll get her in the hot tub tonight. And I wrote, gross. You're a perv. You're fucking gross.
Well, he is a perv, but what he really is, but Ed is a love addict for sure. For sure.
I agree. So mom retires. She retires. And
remember the kiss? He talked about wanting to kiss her. That was a great edit of him showing. I forgot about all that weird kissing with Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
can I halik you? And this is what he says. It's very interesting. His thing is, I think I'm gonna kiss her tonight. He's making plans. You guys, if you've ever kissed someone, and these days for if you're on a same-sex date, you don't know who's going to do it. P.S. Usually it's me who initiates. But
he just grabs her head and shoves it on his crotch.
However, there has been signals sent. There have been signals sent by the other person that let you know it's time to that it's okay to kiss. There have been signals sent.
Yes, and so let's just talk about it. So she goes to leave, and then he gives her a hug, and he kind of tries to grab her face and goes in to kiss her. He takes
her head and holds it like a pumpkin.
She
he's going to
visibly
smash.
Stops, and it really is cringy. And she bends down and he kisses her nose, and she says, "No."
And she's like, "I you just push me back." She says that.
This is literally after she just said,
I don't know what I'm looking for.
I love our connection. I don't know what I'm looking for because I wasn't looking. And it's interesting. They just showed Rose, and I thought, y'all, really, nothing is sexier. Really, I mean this. Nothing is sexier than consent. Yep. Truly. And if you think it's an unsexy thing, that either means you haven't tried it, or that means you need to process that. And I don't mean that in a judgmental way. I mean you need to process that because there's something. He did that with Rose. He asked her if I could kiss. So to me, I thought, and this is a perfect example that if Ed had stopped and looked at her.
I will say, I will argue with you. That part, that was not sexy at all. But I understand what you're saying. Consent done in a way where someone's not going, I'm tasting something bad in my mouth.
But if Ed does what she even says, she says, I think that was too far. Or what did she say? She said that.
She said, you pushed me away.
I think that pushed me back. But that's what, and she said, she goes out, she's like, I thought I made it clear. And then Ed basically says, maybe I'm meant to be alone.
Ugh,
maybe
this is when it gets really gross.
It's sad. Ed makes it all about him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we remember, y'all, that Ed doesn't listen to women. Rose told him very clearly what she wanted. Liz has told him what she wanted.
This is where the arrogance comes in, too.
And it's that he does not listen to women. And he does what he wants to do instead of listening to his partner.
Is it just this idea of he thinks his women are so different? That the women are these kind of peacock-like species that he has to call girls, and he has to impress them and talk in a way, and that then when he's with them, he can domesticate them somehow. Is it some kind of internal misogyny?
I think it's a misogyny in that I feel like Ed probably feels like, because of the way he looks and was treated, I think probably a part of him feels like he's not as much of a man as other men. Yeah. And so being able to take control of, not necessarily control of control, but taking control of that situation makes him feel virile, like this virile man. Yeah. That's what I think. But And he goes all inward of, did I fuck it up? Because this is where we see Ed believes he's a piece of shit.
Right.
So instead of being like, what was that like for her? How did she feel? He is always inwardly exploding. And what's gross is that she comes back in.
I know.
and
I hated
says, this is again from like a therapist. I was looking at this going, this is exactly, if people don't realize, wait, how do I attract bad people that are wrong for me in my life? This is exactly
She was
that.
worried about what he was feeling, how he was
worried
feeling.
about what he was feeling. She's like, Ed is attracting, and she is attracting
Mhm.
someone who is not right for them because honestly, and we said this before, neither of them have any business being in a relationship right now.
No.
They need to work on their stuff.
When he said, through tears, I just want to be me. I want people to like me. And that is a valid thing to say. But I don't think he even knows in reality who he is.
No, I think that was the most authentic thing Ed said. It's truth. It's a kind of the core of, but yeah, exactly. He doesn't know whom he is.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know. I don't think he likes himself.
Yeah,
it's very
totally
cliche, but I don't think he loves himself.
So she does go back and she says, I don't want this to change anything about our friendship. I'm a little confused about her motives here. I understand why she wants to be friends with him because she doesn't want to offend anyone. She wants to he gives her something that she doesn't want to she gets to be on the show because of him.
I don't know if maybe the show. I think actually she has not thought of Ed in a sexual way. I think she has thought of him like a gay man. And I think that she actually feels safe with him.
And that wrecked it.
And she's had bad relationship experience before. And so this is wrecking it. But I think she's trying to tell her brain, well, he is a nice guy. I should like him because I do feel safe with him.
Yeah.
But she's not attracted to him. And so it's just... it's just they need to.
I want to say the most hair-raising thing that was said at the end of this by Ed said, either you go for it or you don't.
But that's what men are taught.
I agree, but
Isn't that
we were
sad?
talking about consent. I'm thinking that has nothing to do with what's happening. And it's almost like you got to take your shot.
But men, especially in America, they do it all by themselves, and they make that leap, and they win the game, and they.
I get that, but I think that is. I understand. I think that is. That's too easy to say. This is something that Ed. He's trying to give himself props for doing this. Like, you tried to kiss someone you basically knew as soon as you did it didn't want to kiss you, but you kept going.
He knew it before. Part of him knew, but that's what Ed does. He did that with Rose. So he's already starting to like, how does he immediately pick up pieces and make himself whole again in his weird way? Is he starts complimenting himself. And then he'll build that and build that to then that becomes the denial that it happened and that he was in the right to begin with.
Right.
Where's his mom from again?
Mexico, I believe.
Because I'm wondering, we never talked about.
Or she's Puerto Rican.
But still, a Latinx.
Oh yeah,
woman. This idea of machismo, we've never talked about that. And even though Ed was raised here, I wonder how much that plays into his idea of what men are.
Yeah,
it's a big cultural thing for people raised in Mexico.
He tries
and South
to
America.
seem like he's super like liberal about everything, but he's not. He's super stuck in his own way. Shall we talk about
Colt?
Move on? Sorry, Fernanda.
Yep, let's talk about Fernanda.
Very short.
Speaking of very short. Y'all, she goes to see her abuela and abuelo, and these are her father's parents. And she talks about how they basically raised her. She doesn't have much of a relationship with her dad at all, but she's going over there because she's going to talk to her father today. His name is Ivan. This really is a short segment. Really not. I mean, it was powerful.
Yeah.
But
Did you think when you saw Ivan, oh my God, he's our age? Fernanda's dad is our age.
Wow. He could be my father?
He couldn't be your father.
Oh, well.
You're older than he is.
Wow. Wow. That backfired.
Seriously, Ivan is probably 37, 38 years old.
Fernanda.
She's 20 or 22.
Is the same age as my oldest nephew.
Yeah.
Who was born when I was 20.
He was 17.
Was 17.
Yeah.
So
and
she's only 17.
She was just 17. And you know what I mean. So he was 17, he says, and she asks him, "Why did you leave mom?" And he says, we met and I got scared and I was some bad influences and that got to me. And she basically says through tears, "I thought it was something wrong with me." Which is a very natural thing to happen with a kid.
Very common.
Like when kids say, when in a divorce, when kids say, "Is it me? Are you getting divorced because of us? Do you want to leave because of us?" And you always say to the kids, "No, we love you so much. It's just that your mom and I have some disagreements to work out."
And she even talks about, this is a thing that a lot of people deal with this, sadly, way more common than we would like. And it's this idea as we grow adults. I love what she said, because I think probably a lot of people related to this of, I know as an adult why you did what you did, because she's 20. She's been 17 and probably go like, oh, what would that be like if I had a kid? But that inner child never heals from that. And that's what I think that's smart that she's kind of making that difference. She said, because she talked about when I was little, I was so scared and that I didn't get it. And I felt so much guilt. And she said, I see things when I'm older, but I think it's like how this idea that she's trying to find out is, how do you heal that inner child that still feels broken and complete and all that kind of stuff.
Did you think that probably it was made worse by either her grandparents or her mother not wanting to talk about why the father left and the fact
Did she say that?
No, but I'm saying, that was what it was. That's why she had to ask her father, and because she's never known.
I assume you're right.
She had to ask her father why he left.
Yeah.
Which either means maybe she wanted to hear from him, but it probably was never talked about, because she seems like someone who's, even with therapy, is just now starting to break down her own emotional issues.
Well, it's something I don't believe that ever fully heals. And I see that now my dad's not necessarily an introspective guy, but his father did leave him when he was 5 years old. The last thing he received was a pack of underwear for Christmas. My dad called him up at 5 years old and told him to fuck off.
At 5? Damn.
At 5, 6.
That's poodle energy.
Yeah, I know. Well, Grandma Hazel. And so, but he never, now granted, he hasn't processed that.
Yeah.
And neither of his siblings, but you see in their siblings that they all are very involved, sometimes too involved parents, because they didn't have that. So
right.
But my dad has said that that circle never for him came fully closed, or at least some word of type of completion until he had his own sons and developed a good relationship and loved his sons, and his sons loved him. And then it didn't make it go away, but he said that was the best thing he could have ever done for him, was to be a good father to his kids and have good sons.
It's so interesting, because that's not about, in a way, that's not about him at all. That's not about him healing himself at all.
No, it's not. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's the way to do it. I'm just
pointing it out. Yeah.
I mean, you can read about this and read it, but I think this is such a specific thing. Again, if you haven't experienced it, again, Poodle and I have very present parents.
Yeah.
They call a lot. So,
no, that's true.
It's something that, it's just a really, but I like that I think one way of not dealing with it is a lot of people kind of always deal, and my dad does partly of this too, but you have a lot of people that really deal with, well, fuck him, I don't need him, fuck
Right.
off. And that idea of, I will say this from just having a lot of clients that have dealt with this, there does have to be some type of forgiveness or understanding of that.
Or some type of
that
less,
adult.
what if it's not forgiveness, but some type of closure?
That's
some
what I
type
meant. That's why
yeah.
I said forgiveness or understanding, closure, because otherwise it really can inhibit you from opening up for love.
She says because of this, and I'm sure her therapist helped her with this, and I'm not sure I completely agree with her blaming her father for all this. She says, I fell for the first man who showed me love.
Yeah.
I fell for the wrong definition of love. That feels like a therapist talk. To me,
I think so. I think she's taking those words to just help empower herself.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I have no problem with her expressing and saying, I fell for this, and maybe that was because of our relationship. And if I was her father, I would feel super blamed for that. And even he is saying things like, so she's making him feel worse. Like, yeah, I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. So I don't think really he's getting anything from it.
But I don't think this doesn't need to be about him.
No, I totally agree. I'm saying, I don't know if she's getting, I guess it's okay for her to say these things.
You've got to get that out. You've got to get that out and just say,
I agree with you. I just wish it was
fucked up.
I wish it was more in her words, and I understand why it needs to be the therapist's words, I guess.
Oh yeah, because all the time I've said, like, I'm sure you said it's like coaching. I'll say, if a client can't I'll say, use my words until you find yours, and that often happens. And I think also too, she's 20,
I get you. For me, it tries to be, it needs to be words that are less clinical, because when a family member hears that, they're devoid of emotion.
Yeah. But he seemed affected by, he seemed that, but she needed to say, like, I'm glad that he apologized to her, because it was.
He does say, if you call, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. Yeah. Just call my name, and I'll be there. I won't do the rest of it.
What happened to Mariah? She can't sing.
I was singing Jackson 5.
Oh,
that's the original. You knew that, right? Just so we're clear.
Not familiar. Not familiar.
We need to move on.
And that's basically it. They hug. They kind of have a laugh. Hopefully this is healing for them. Let's move on to someone who I hope is never a father. And that's Colt.
Just a cat dad.
Just a cat dad.
He's
waking up this morning with Vanessa,
who they've been friends with benefits. We've known for a long time. And he's like, I really am enjoying being with Vanessa, but she's still not my girlfriend.
She's still my girl. Look.
Gross.
I don't mean to be looksist or whatever, but I was just.
Is that a term? Looksist?
I don't know, but he's in the bed. He's got this crazy beard, this crazy hair, and I'm just like, what is attractive?
You know what?
Him?
If there's something I've known, I don't even ask this question anymore.
Don't see it.
I know, but it's not for us to decide. This is for Vanessa to decide.
I just don't see it.
I agree with you.
I don't think he's ugly. But he's also not.
Here's the thing, though.
Too hard to separate Colt, the person, from Colt, the way he looks.
It is, and I think he's given her a lot of strangely weird emotional support.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think she's probably pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I think I think she's got some shiznit.
I think she's just kind of normal on the outside, and Colt is. We already understand he's got a screw loose.
It's true. Now he's saying she wants to decorate the room, yada yada yada,
which is a weird thing to say.
It is. He brings up Larissa, Y'all, this is back when Larissa was held for questioning. She ended up getting released, but he says she's moved to Colorado with Ericy.
I'm happy for her. Ericy.
And did she moved back, but now they're back. They're married now, right?
They're not together anymore, I don't think.
I thought she got back together with Eric.
I can't keep up.
It can't keep up.
He talked about being bisexual, though.
Yeah. And so now but he said, but I did hear that Jess married this guy, Brian, and now she lives in Vegas. And this is what, again, it's weird. It makes me think of like, maybe I'm judging Vanessa. I don't mean to, but she flat out says, well, yeah, you treated her like shit and you told her a lot of lies. Like you lied to her a lot and you didn't treat her great. And I think when you know that a person did that to another person, why do you want to be with that person at all?
Vanessa is just floating through life. She's waiting for someone else to impress her and waiting for the best parade float to come along to give it the.
I think that's true.
Yeah, and I think she's going to move on to the next better thing. And right now, she doesn't feel great about herself, so it's Colt.
That doesn't feel good at all.
And so she got married to Brian, Jess, after 5 months. And I think they were introduced by Pilar. Is that for the friend? No, who's Vanessa's friend? Or who's Larissa's friend? Not Pilar.
I don't know. Somebody.
Fuck. What's her name? I'm messing
Desiree.
it up.
Charisse.
No.
Mead.
Carmen. I'm fucking this up.
I don't care.
So Vanessa basically says, why don't you keep it going with Jess if we were messing around? And you lied to her so much, like you said. And she's like, I saw how he was as a boyfriend. And I kind of agree with you. He's trying to say he's changed, but maybe Vanessa is this last ditch effort.
She's trying to help him change.
Yeah. I feel like this is a little constructed because I think they are together.
I think they are together too.
So I think a lot of this is to explain why they are together.
Well, and we find out, y'all, he told Jess at the tell-all that he cheated on him, but he was dating Vanessa a month into dating
and I
Jess.
think Vanessa supposedly says, I need to come clean with this and tell Jess.
And Vanessa also says he wasn't just dating me, he was dating other women.
Yeah. Even though he says, and who knows if Colt's a liar or what actually, full stop, Colt's a liar.
Colt's a liar. I was literally about to say, you can't say that on television. Right. He's a liar.
So Colt's like, why don't we meet Jess? I went, yes.
Which is totally.
Good morning, my dick.
Morning, my dick. There is no reason for this.
None.
At all,
and I could not be happier about it.
Thank the Matt Sharp gods for it. So,
nor did Vanessa have to go, and we needed to see her new husband. This could have been a Colt Jess meeting.
And they drive up, they get there, they go to sit. Jess looks like she's trying to pierce them with lasers. And
they're both looking like, I don't think they knew Vanessa was coming.
Maybe they didn't. It's just she's kind of staring at her.
Jess is Jess smells like a rotting like dead rat or something like that.
But she looks great. She looks great. She's sitting there with her husband.
Still looking a little bit like Tweety's egghead cousin.
Yeah, egghead cousin with
the
big glasses. The matte lipstick doesn't help.
No.
And then, but we see next week, we see her immediately saying, Colt, you liar. You liar. You liar. I talked to Vanessa. Let me hear from her, you liar.
Good morning, my dick.
Y'all, you can bet your ass there's going to be a 90-day or reality gaze theater on next episode.
I did have one thing to say. Colt was driving the car because he's laid off. He's driving for Uber. So can you imagine if you're in Vegas and Colt was your Uber driver and how uncomfortable the conversation would be?
Well, someone once said that Armando was their Uber driver.
No.
Not Armando. Mohammed was their Uber driver.
I could see that being kind of normal, but Colt would ask you really personal conversations because Colt is weirdly intelligent, but it's only used for gross means.
Y'all, that's all we got.
I think that's it. That's a long show. You wouldn't shut the fuck up.
I knew Big Ed would bring on a big conversation because it really hits on some deep themes. So, and if you were triggered by this episode, not us, but I
want to hear about what you guys think about, especially kissing consent. I want to hear.
We want to hear about that, but also I just want to make sure people are safe. If you were triggered by this episode, please reach out and get support. There's what is there? There is we had a charity, a vday.org, but also there's rain.org.
Yeah, Rain
are dealing with
assaults, incest.
There's national sexual assault hotline.
RAINN.
I think that number it's 800-656-HOPE. So we just want to let you know that, like, yes, we have the Sissy Squad. It's our Facebook group. We love it in there, and we always have support. But that's not a therapy group. So if you really are dealing with something, or you feel unsafe, or you feel I could see how people could be, especially with him grabbing her face.
That actually took me out.
Took me out, and I haven't been assaulted.
And
that was triggering.
I've had moments that felt dangerous like that, but I will say that took me out. I had to walk away for a minute.
Yeah.
So we just really
want to, if you're feeling that, please reach out to those organizations. Y'all, be sure come at us on Cameo. You can Poodle's pause. He should be back up next week. I think I'm
probably Monday.
I'm gonna wait for you to get a couple of days of fucking in your system.
That's probably a good idea.
So probably like Thursday of next week.
You might get one from me Tuesday going, "Hey there."
You're just bouncing up and down.
Hey there.
I just wanted to say, Melinda. Yeah. Happy. Oh God. Happy birthday, Melinda.
Oh God.
All right, y'all. We call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love, Poodle?
I haven't even found it. Oh God.
You're really, y'all.
I wasn't ready. I'm never prepared for this.
Should we just end the show?
No, I got it. Yes. And if you want to turn your man into an alpha man, you need to go ATVing. That's what's going to do it. And break your clavicle and your collarbone at the same time. So just call us.
Call us.